Oh, well, I thought it was time that I did a quick seedling update and a greenhouse update. And it's actually a bit chilly in the air, which is why I closed that door, because it's blowing a bit of a, well, not a gale, but a cool breeze in here. And I'm kind of adapted to warmer weather right now. So I brought the dehydrator in here, and it's a Hendy, that's the model. If I get around to it, I'll put a link to it in the description of the video. But we really like it. It's got metal trays, and can't get it open at the moment because it's got these metal trays. It's really great, and we love it. So we will soon be dehydrating lots of apples and pears and all that. Parsley. That parsley is not going to be dehydrated, actually. That parsley is just about to be planted out in containers, ready to move into the polytunnel in October time. So seedlings first, perhaps, and quite nice in here. Really, like a couple of weeks ago, there was nothing in here, and now it's sort of all filled up. And this will be a whole production line going forward for the next couple of months. I'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing in September in here, but right now we've got some Uber salad rocket, so that'll go outside, and then I'll have another batch come in which will go undercover. I've got some red rhubarb kale down there, which is looking really nice. That's a nice little kale I like, and it's nice and crunchy. I like it in salads. It's a beautiful kind of purpley red colour as well, and so it adds a bit of colour. Got radishes, cherry bell I think, and Tokyo cross turnips. We've got Tokyo cross turnips outside as well, and they're just sizing up nicely, so I should be picking those either this weekend or next weekend. I've got my next succession of turnips and radishes, and we probably, maybe we'll have one more succession of those, but basically they start to stall once we get well into September, so it's hard to get decent sized roots off them. And then I've got a few lettuces, not too many because I've got already a lot of lettuces in the ground, but I've got some Navara, I've got some Half-Flex, and I've got some Extranet, all really lovely varieties for this time of year. And I've got some Tatsoi and Red Stem Pak Choi. Not too much because again we're just for salads. I'm just filling in little gaps that open up because most of my plantings will be in October, so these are just on short-lived sowings that'll get planted out for harvest in autumn, and then we'll start replacing things, all the summer crops in October and into November, and then we'll enjoy those all the way through winter and into spring, and then we'll be back to as I say, spring crops and summer crops. So that's pretty good. I've got some Roxy, which is one of my favourite winter lettuces. Just doing a germination test on that, and it's coming up quite nicely. I've got some late cucumbers, but I've also got quite a few cucumbers on the go that are fairly late. I've got these that I put in, let's just have a quick look. Sowed those 15th of June, and they're just in these little troughs. They don't take up very much room, and I'm growing them along this string here. They're actually self-supported. They just keep on throwing up their little tendrils and looping those around, and that seems to be enough for them to hold on. And I think they just look really nice, just hung like that. I don't know how long they'll last in these troughs because obviously there's not that much nutrients in there, but I am giving them a liquid feed. And I've got the next batch here, which are growing really nicely up the canes. I'm tying those in with string, and they've just started flowering now, so I should think in a couple of weeks' time we'll be eating those. But again, they won't last too long because in here it'll get a little bit cold for cucumbers, certainly by the time we get to October. So I've got my next batch in the conservatory, and they should take us all the way through October and into November. So that's cucumbers. I've got my next batch of lettuce here, and yeah, I'm really happy with those. They're all coming up. They're the ones we'll be eating all the way through sort of late September, October, and then the overwintered sowings will be ready for us to eat and they'll all be under cover. So that'll be my last batch that'll grow outside. Then I've got lamb's lettuce, first batch of those, second batch of those just starting to germinate outside on my seed starting bench. And yeah, maybe I'll do one more sowing of those about sometime this week probably. And this week is it's the 21st today as I'm shooting this, 21st of August. Got my tough ball onions. These are overwintered onions. Harvest these in about June time. And I like that timing because then of course there's loads of things you can plant after those are harvested in June. But I harvested my main crop onions middle of July, something like that, and dried those off. They're all in store now, and planted all of my autumn calabrese and cauliflowers and a few Brussels sprouts and things like that after those, and they're all coming up really nicely. I'm really happy with those. It's really, I know some people leave their onions in a bit longer than I do, but the benefit of taking them out about middle of July is of course you can get that second crop in of brassicas and bring that to maturity for a nice harvest in autumn. And if you leave them until say now, then it's much more difficult to get a harvest off that same ground. What else have I got? Salad onions, I've got guardsman, I've got lilia and some more lilia, and I've got quite a few more salad onions still just starting to germinate, and then I've still got a few that I'll sow for a harvest in sort of later in spring. And then quite a few little kales here that I might end up planting out, and I might end up not. I'm never quite sure. It depends on whether space opens up for me. I always like to have spares of things that are always quite useful to have, just in case things go wrong. And things always go wrong in gardening. So I've got some red boar, some cadet, some scarlet, so enough kales there for one of my low tunnels if I want to put them out in a low tunnel, and I probably will, because I think if they're that small at this time of year, by the time I'm planting them out, it's pretty much October time. If I don't put them in a low tunnel, they really won't be ready for harvest until spring. And obviously I want my low tunnels for other things by the time we get to spring. But if I put them in a low tunnel in October, then I'll be harvesting them through winter. And basically, as I'm clearing them in February, ready to plant something more interesting in February, then yeah, I'll have had a really good harvest off them. So I've got some Rosetto Asian greens as well there. And that's pretty much it on the seedling bench. So after what comes after all this, because this will all be gone. Oh, I forgot the spinach. First batch of spinach, which is Rubino, which is looking beautiful. I'm going to be planting that tomorrow. So what comes after all this? After this, more spinach, more salad onions, more lamb's lettuce, one more tray of tough ball overwintered onions, the ones we'll harvest in July for storage. All in early September, all of my lettuces and Asian greens that I'm going to be harvesting all the way through winter. Maybe one more batch of radish, maybe one more batch of Tokyo cross turnips. I'm not quite sure, depends on how much space I've got. As I mentioned earlier, some more salad rocket to probably grow under cover, maybe in containers, maybe in this greenhouse. And then about towards the end of September, once all that stuff starts to clear out and get planted out in early October, in here will go all of the brassicas that I will overwinter in here and then start planting out in February and early March. Sometimes January, February and early March. And so there'll be calabrese, red cabbages, spring cabbages, purple cauliflowers and white cauliflowers. And all the details of all these things are best found out in my newsletter, because there's so much going on in here. It's very hard to keep track of it all, but all the details are in the newsletter. Everything that I'm sowing, everything I'm pricking out, everything I'm potting on, everything I'm planting, everything that I'm harvesting, all the problems I'm having, all the solutions I've got to those problems, and lots more are in my weekly newsletter, which you can find at steverichards.substack.com. And yeah, it's free to read, it's not free to write, so if you want to subscribe you can, but it doesn't matter whether you subscribe or not, you get all the same information for free. And yeah, so that's the brassicas. What's going on in the rest of here, because there's a lot going on. So I've got my late strawberries. These are just starting to fruit now, and the ones on the allotment are in full fruit, but these I cut back because I wanted them a little bit later. So I've only got 3 or 4, 5 little tubs of strawberries, but that's enough for a handful a day as we go into autumn. Then I've got my late red profusion tomatoes, and they're looking really nice. So I sowed those 5th of July and planted them out a couple of weeks ago, and of course they're growing really strongly because it's really lovely and warm at the moment. It's going to be a little bit cooler soon, but the tomatoes won't mind, they'll keep on going, and so we should be harvesting those about the time I finish all of my outdoor tomatoes and my polytunnel tomatoes. Now the outdoor tomatoes are doing beautiful at the moment, so I don't want to be harvesting any tomatoes from the greenhouse because we've got loads outside. I've got loads in the polytunnel, so I'm just not in need of greenhouse tomatoes. I want these greenhouse tomatoes to start harvesting these greenhouse tomatoes rather in October, and they're looking okay. So I've got plenty of fruits now on these cordon tomatoes, which are honeycomb and sun gold. I've got 5 of those, and I've got 2 orange 2 sort of sun gold bush tomato plants there. They're just a trial, never done those before. And then, as I say, I've got 4 of these hanging baskets with the red profusions, and some tumblers as well, actually, some tumbling tom yellows, I think, and yeah, 2 of each, that's right. So quite excited for that. Should be in tomato abundance come October, and then they should last us, because they're young plants. They look pretty big, although they're this sort of height at the moment. They're young plants. I only planted them in here, I don't know, maybe just over a month ago, something like that. But obviously it's that time of year, loads of sun, they've grown really well, really nice big trusses on them. So yeah, so should have the tomatoes in here all the way through until Christmas, although I'll probably clear them out before we get to Christmas and just ripen them in the kitchen, and that gives me space to bring all my trees in. So I've got my apricot, couple of apricot trees, a couple of nectarine trees to bring in here, which will go basically where the tomatoes are. Then I've got, finally, I've never grown aubergines before, and I haven't grown them very well this year, but finally these aubergine plants have got fruits on them, and quite a lot of fruits actually as well. I'm really pleased with them, mainly just because I haven't grown them before, but they're just looking beautiful and they're growing so fast now. So I'm hoping that they'll ripen off nicely. But for some reason they just didn't set fruit for ages, and then all of a sudden they all set fruit really quickly, and yeah, I'll have more than enough aubergines there to keep myself going. And I've just kept a couple of pepper plants in here. Most of my pepper plants at home in the kitchen garden are outside, and they've been perfectly happy outside. They liked it in here early on when they came in here in April, but basically by the time we got to sort of mid-June or something like that, I put them outside to give me more space in here for plants that would appreciate the warmth a little bit more than peppers do. And I've got loads and loads and loads of peppers under my low tunnels on the allotment, so we're absolutely awash with peppers at the moment. And yeah, I'll probably put up a video, just to, not a clip of a couple of harvests, just to show you some of the peppers. But really the pepper harvest is just starting now in volume, so yeah, we'll be harvesting bucket loads of those. And that, I'm just looking around, but I think that is everything going on in the greenhouse, and there's lots of stuff to come in. So as I start to clear these aubergines out and these peppers out, I'll start bringing in all my winter crops, and the first thing that I sort of start to bring in are little baby leaf little, come on Steve, wake up, what are they called? Chard and beetroot plants planted really close together for baby leaves for salads, and they're really lovely. So I start those off first, and then after those sort of go into the polytunnel later on, then I replace those with lots of like Asian greens and spinach and lettuce and all of that sort of thing to go all along these benches here, and enjoy these grow lights which I've got in here. So they give me a lovely harvest all through with the middle of winter. Really, I'm targeting those for the middle of winter, and by that I mean basically January and early February, when growth is really slow of any leafy green on the allotment. So the allotment's providing the harvest for most of the year, but yeah, just for those 6-week period, max out everything in the greenhouse and then switch everything over really quickly once we get to the middle of February and everything's starting to grow really fast again on the allotment. All of this starts switching over to potatoes and all sorts of other goodies for spring and early summer. So that's it. My name's Steve. This is the Outgrow channel. I'll see you soon.